So I realize that another thing that needs to be in this death season is the idea that once you are healed from something, it is no longer a thing that you worry about. I think that once we heal from something and we go through recovery and then we find ourselves struggling with it at a later time, we think, well, that shouldn't be the case because I'm fine now. That's never going to be the case. Let me tell you that straight up. You will be fine. Let me tell you that. You will be fine. However, it's not that you heal from something and then it's just a footnote in your history of life and it never comes up again. It will come up in different ways, and that's the truth. And I think that we forget that, and we forget it because a lot of people portray that that's how it is, that once you heal from something, it just is no longer an issue. I'm a recovering sex addict, and I have weeks where I'm great. I'm not in the muck. I'm good. And then I have days where all day long I'm fighting that crap. And it's not that I'm fighting those old habits, because the habits themselves are not indicative of an unhealthy person. What I'm fighting is the former version of myself that loved to self-sabotage. And as I get away from one way of doing it, it will pop up in another way, because the problem isn't sex. The problem is that I did not love myself enough and that I self-sabotaged and I did X, Y, and Z, right? But for me to tell you that I'm a recovering sex addict, it can feel distant to you. And also, you don't see me doing anything crazy. So, of course, it's distant. And that's good, because that part of myself, I want it to be distant, except there are days where I fight it all day long. And I don't want you guys to walk around thinking that once you heal from something, it is never a problem. We need to put that to rest. You will always be fighting at different times, sometimes a lot, and sometimes barely at all. A former version of yourself that likes to kick in randomly and say, don't you remember how you aren't worthy of this goodness that's taking place right now? Do you really deserve it? Should you be experiencing this? It will kick in, and that's okay. And don't should yourself past it. It's life. But if I don't tell you that I still struggle on the day-to-day about different things that now seem so distant, then how are you going to know that that's exactly what growth can look like? So, death to the idea that once you are good, you're good. That's just, that was 2008 Sarah. She's never coming back. That ain't true. She's going to be coming back, okay? But she's not going to come back in the same way that she did. And that's all that matters. And the same goes for you.